I'm joined by the Trade Minister, Don Farrell. Minister, thanks for your time. Was there any progress made? Are you feeling more confident that that EU free trade agreement will be done?
Look, there's still a lot of water to go under the bridge, I'm afraid, Kieran. We had a good couple of hours of meeting, and there's further meetings this morning with the Agriculture Minister. We're making progress. We're reducing the number of issues about which we have a difference of opinion, but there's still a lot of work to do. And I'm, in the process of doing exactly that. We're going to have to persist and persevere. We have to push the issues that we feel strongly about in this agreement. Those are things like getting greater agricultural access to European markets. So there's more work to be done, but I'm hopeful that over the next few weeks that we can reach a point where we can say we've got an agreement that's in the interests of Australia. Of course, if we don't get to that situation, of course, I'm happy to walk away from this agreement.
One of the stumbling blocks has been those things referred to as geographical indicators, the names that the EU want Australia and others to use a different name, things like Prosecco, Feta is another one. Has there been any progress on that? I know that this is an issue that the industry groups don't want the government to budge on.
No, and that's right. No, we have made no concessions in respect to the so-called geographical indicators. What I've said to the Europeans over and over again is that for Australians of European background, geographical indicators just aren't an economic issue, they're an emotional issue. It's a way that those Europeans can maintain a link to the motherland. They're very attached to them, and so is the government.
So is that a red line for you? You won't budge on that? Any further compromise?
Look, we will look at the package as a whole. My job is to look at Australia's national interests and what is the best result for Australia. And at the end of the day, we have to look at what is on offer in its totality and make a decision what is the best decision for Australia. We do want a free trade agreement. As you know, we have embarked upon a significant trade diversification policy. We've entered into new agreements with India and the United Kingdom. Last week, we signed up to the first of 4 pillars of a new agreement with the United States. So we're looking at trade diversification, and Europe offers great opportunities there. Population of 450 million people, an economy of $24 trillion. So it'll be an important market to get into, but we're not going to go into it unless the deal is right.
Yep, okay. Well, one other area where there's been progress in the last 48 hours, China has released its lists for stone fruit, mangoes and so on, and it's been a big positive move for our horticulture sector. How significant is this concession now, and another reduction in the trade barriers, I suppose, to China?
Yeah, look, it's a very good outcome, Kieran. It's an indication that our strategy of stabilising our relationship with China is working bit by bit, product by product. We're getting our wonderful food and wine, hopefully, back into China. I think it's significant that it comes just a week after I had another meeting with my Chinese counterpart, Weng Wentao. We're close, I think, to a decision in respect of barley. One of the things we did at our face-to-face meeting a few weeks ago in Beijing was set down a pathway to resolve all of the outstanding disputes. And What we saw with citrus and stone fruit in the last couple of days is one of the outcomes of that process. So I think the stabilisation strategy is working, and bit by bit we are working through all of the outstanding issues, and hopefully to a point where we no longer have any trade impediments with China, but that we can continue that diversification strategy.
So you believe that there could be a move soon on barley. Any other sector that you're positive about in the short term? And I think really in the context of the Prime Minister likely to visit Beijing over coming months, do you expect more significant moves ahead of that visit?
Look, we've embarked upon a process here, Kieran, that just in the last couple of weeks has delivered access for our timber products. Now it's our citrus and stone fruit. And barley, I don't believe, is very far away. So we just have to keep going down that path. I think it's the right path. It's the way that we resolve all of these outstanding disputes. But we just have to be patient and persist. And that's what I intend to do.
Finally, we've had the rate rise today from the RBA. The Shadow Treasurer says it's Labor's rate rise because of its fiscal policy, its IR policy as well. What's your reaction to that? And do you concede that a lot of Australians will be hurting off the back of that announcement today by the RBA?
Oh, look, of course, lots of Australians will be hurting, but I can only reiterate what the Treasurer says. The Reserve Bank is independent. We don't control it. They've made this decision. We understand the hurt that's going on in the Australian community. Our budget is designed to try and help those people who are most disadvantaged in the current economic circumstance. That's what we'll continue to do. Nothing's going to divert us from that task. But remember this, for all of the time of the Morrison government, they weren't able to achieve a surplus. Jim Chalmers has managed to do that. And of course, all of the things that we did in the budget were designed precisely to put downward pressure on things like interest rate and cost of living. That's what we're focused on, and that's what we're going to continue to do.